Hi, you can think of this as a part 2/ late game version of my patch 4 charger tips video. For this video, I'm going to be assuming that you already know how to use charger with max upgrades. Multiple people have made videos explaining the extent of what having belt, shark tail, and max turn speed allows you to do on charger and more. This video, for the most part, is going to be specific things that I picked up long after I had already gotten a little comfortable using charger. I'm going to begin the video with the big things, some stuff that's definitely already been talked about by others, and then the further in we go I'll talk about more specific, smaller tips. Some of these are things I found on my own through raw playtime. A lot of them are things I learned by watching people who are way better than me play. Honestly, here's tip number 0. If you want a good example of what you should try to be, go watch Deve and Dusk. Deve is basically John Nullscape at this point. Dusk might be the best charger player I've ever seen full stop so far. Alright, let's get to the video.
Are you being intentionally dense?
We're going to start with the two main techniques a charger can use to gain crazy distance when you need to do large-scale traversal. Whenever I need to travel really far, and more specifically really high, I use one of two techs. By shark tail tech, I'm referring to building up high stored speed via grind rails, starting a charge off a bounce pad or grapple point, and then shark tailing. Remember that to gain high stored speed from a grind rail on any class, you just have to jump on and off the rail in one direction a lot. We'll talk about this for charger in particular later. Some classes like Spirit and Grappler can sort of b-hop without losing momentum from their ability. On charger though, if you build up a bunch of grind rail momentum and then touch solid ground, it nearly instantly removes your stored speed. Grapple points and bounce pads, however, do not do that. So if you start a charge off a bounce pad or grapple point, you gain access to shark tail without losing your horizontal speed. And then you can fly into the sky. The hard part is starting a charge off a pad with all that speed. But remember, this game's physics are a lie. You can slow down to a near stop and still have your speed stored as long as you don't touch the ground. Assuming you have a tree orb available, the tree orb tech is easily the quickest way to gain insane height. To pull it off, all it requires is that you charge into a tree orb, and make sure you do not let go of your charge before you get into the orb. Then, once you're in the orb, let go of all movement directions. Now press jump while not holding any of those directions. This will send you diagonally up. With matrix tetrahedron in the question, if right after you jump you hold the direction away from which way you're moving, most likely backwards with your camera facing the same direction you jumped, you go really high. You have to do this all pretty quickly for it to work, but trust me, you'll know when you did it right. Right after you end your charge, if you press both your normal and alt ability buttons at the same time, you can completely stop in place. You just put out two total ability inputs. The first one, of course, shark tails, and the second one, quick drops. Only difference is that you did them functionally at the same time. This instantly takes you out of your charge the same way that long jumping and shark tailing do. Releasing your charge without doing anything after puts your character into their slowdown animation, where you won't get full control until the slowdown period is over, or you cancel it by shark tailing. This segues into the next tip. The slowdown state after ending your charge counts as ability use for Operator and Kelowna. It's for that reason that shark tailing out of your charge will always be the safest and quickest method to get rid of Operator or stop for Voidbound Operator. Doing a charge kill does work for Operator, but only when you touch the ground. If you were to try to do a charge kill mid-air, you'd just be quick dropping, as it doesn't get interrupted by the floor. Quick dropping counts as an ability use for 0.75 second. And that will get you killed by Operator. If you are midair, the only ways to instantly end your charge at will is by just shark tailing or by long jumping off of your platform.
Look at this toy!
Wait, don't click that, you're going to summon him! Don't
Summon
click
him?
that, you're
What are
going
you
to
talking
summon him!
This is probably the most used tip here. If you notice, when you charge kill on the ground, it does give you the charge chain window. With a tiny bit of practice getting the timing down, you can charge chain instantly without moving an inch from where your last charge ended. This is way simpler when you use the most common charger keybinds, that being having ability and alt ability bound to left and right click. As mentioned in previous videos, I personally have alt ability set to left shift. As a result, my chaining used to be really messy. I actually want to credit Loki Dog here, as they were the first person I saw use charge killing properly, and it motivated me to learn how to do it myself with my own binds.
Oh yeah, but it's actually crazy. Like, I'm sorry.
I want to go over an interesting detail about the jump charge. This is the only early game specific thing in the video. In my patch 4 video, I talked about how to do a jump charge. Then in my patch 5 charger changes video, I talked about how doing a jump charge was now implemented into Charger's kit officially, and no longer required you to time releasing your charge before you jump. Well, someone in the comments of that video actually pointed out that I was partially wrong. Something really interesting that I didn't pick up on is that when you do the implemented jump charge, where you jump during the charge, it takes you out of the charge entirely, skipping the slowdown period. It's basically a long jump without the long part. This also means that you can do an early game version of charge killing where you jump during your charge and then quick drop. However, since jumping during the charge kills your momentum, its distance is kind of nerfed in comparison to patch 4. Luckily, if you go ahead and do the old timing anyway, where you make sure to jump right after releasing your charge, not during, you'll let yourself enter the slowdown period, but you will feel that it preserves your momentum a lot better, giving you more distance. In the case that you're using a jump charge off your platform to cross a gap, this is the better option.
Peter. Oh. Is here.
When I was first getting into late game charger movement, I basically threw the idea of ever long jumping out the window, because I only saw it as this thing that I'd accidentally use and then void. I basically never used it. Over time though, I've come to find its use cases. Even though it only lasts for about a second, long jumping gives you a huge burst of speed, much faster than the normal max speed of your charge, with the important detail that you should have solid ground to land on at the end of it, because if you don't, well, now you're just out of your charge and, well, you should have just not long jumped in the first place. I find myself using singular long jumps when I'm approaching a landing spot to speed up that last bit of distance, or long jumping upstairs, as that's significantly faster than charging up them, which is really slow for whatever reason. You can also quick drop mid long jump, which you can then charge chain off of to long jump again. I've heard this referred to as a Wavedash. Wavedashing offers quick bursts of speed and sharp direction changes. Spamming wave dashes should be your main form of movement when you get Ninja Belt, but before you have max upgrades, because you don't have that crazy turn speed yet. Since you're adding in the quick drop, you can also stay low enough to the ground to collect gifts, as opposed to just long jumping where you'll go over them. Also, even in the late game, Jumpless charge chaining requires you to wait for your character to accelerate again. Wave dashing is more ideal for, again, short distances in general, but also getting out of danger. When I see an unexpected baby's dotted line or something over my character, my first priority is flying out of the way. Then I can worry about quickly getting into a charge and continuing to run away. And last thing, long jumping into a rail gives you a lot of speed. But it took me until I saw someone else do something better to realize that it was way easier to just wave dash onto the rail from over top of it. This is probably the quickest way to gain grind rail speed. Just that one long jump alone gives you enough speed for a really strong shark tail tech. If you're not in a situation to wave dash onto the rail, you can also just jump and quick drop back on it over and over again. Just make sure you hold jump for a moment and don't quick drop too soon or you'll go through the rail. By platform setups, I'm referring to setting up a situation where you can activate your air platform just above solid ground, close enough to collect gifts with max gift magnets, but far enough away that you'll avoid either flesh or trip mines. There's certain map generation that allows for really easy setups, such as drop-offs like these, or even the spawn platform. Seamine boosting is great, especially with barrow trauma, but as a charger, being airborne and not in a charge is probably your most vulnerable state. So why don't you just Seamine boost while charging? Now of course if you just charge off the side of Seamine, you'll probably end up too far away. So you might want to stop and wait on the mine for a moment before you charge, or try to turn midair. Unless you're playing on extreme, in which case you can basically disregard all this waiting stuff.
Thank you.
Oh my god, Moon has a gun! No! It took me way longer than I feel it should have to learn the criteria for entering a full bonk. That being when you enter the unique bonk animation and most notably, lose access to your double jumps. This only happens if you bonk while airborne, and when you know it, charging on your air platform counts as being on the ground. I would highly recommend that you're holding down both charge buttons most of the time, and actively make the decision to let go of alt ability when you're actually planning to charge off into the sky. By having this habit, you're giving yourself a safety net. You make it much more likely that if anything goes wrong, even something as simple as just drifting off the edge a bit too much, your platform will automatically activate and save you. And even if you do bonk, you'll be more likely to not go into a full bonk and keep your double jumps.
Ethan,
I hear a mark. There's glass.
Beware.
There's a... For the last tip, I just want to give a quick PSA that even when you do have all those max upgrades, where you got your crazy turn speed, do not forget that you can release W for sharper turns. It's way easier to disregard it since you'll honestly be perfectly fine just forgetting about it. But building up the skill to actually utilize those ultra sharp turns will make your gameplay noticeably cleaner. It's especially important when we're talking about weaving around trip mines. If you go watch any Dave or Duska gameplay, you can see them periodically let go of W. And that's pretty much all I have to say. Well, actually, there is more I could talk about, but a lot of the stuff you can just find out yourself, and this is taking a really long time to edit. Anyway, I probably won't be making anything more like this until patch 6 comes out, but I'll also have started school by then, so we'll see. Now go hop on the game and aura farm.